You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, team. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Project Runway After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Project Runway After Show.
Is this the theme song? I don't know, but I like it. Feels fashionable. Very. Why have I not noticed this? I don't know. Wow,
Hi guys, Bing is for doing, and here at AFTERBUZZ TV, we're doing another after show for Project Runway Season 10, Episode 3. Welcome back to the runway. Welcome back or not to the runway. I'm sorry, correction. And we have a lot to talk about. My name is Alina Akram. I'm a huge fan of the show. I love fashion. So thanks for tuning in. And my lovely co-hosts are, go ahead, Lo.
I'm Lo. I too am a big fan of the show. I'm a loyal viewer, and I'm really excited to be here today with you lovely ladies and everyone at home who's also big fans.
And hi, I am Lauren Leonelli, and again, huge fan of Project Runway. Love the dresses, love the fashion, excited to talk about it.
All right, you guys, we have a lot to talk about tonight. Again, we had a very fun episode. The challenge, though, the Lexus Team Challenge. So we get to see our designers pair up for the first time. What'd you guys think?
The pairing made me a little nervous.
Really? I actually like how they were paired. Well, I should.
It was random.
It was a little bit
pairing was
random, but there were a
Yes.
few people that I thought got paired really well,
Yes.
and I think they got paired with people that they should have got paired with, and whether or not they did well together, that's something we'll get into.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, so the
was okay.
challenge was for them to get paired together, like you guys mentioned. It was random, and it also incorporated Lexus's new G model, GS, thank you. And they got a key to a Lexus, and that told them who their partner was going to be and the color they had to incorporate into their design.
Which was the
Right.
color of the car.
Exactly. And they had $300 and 1 day to do it.
And 30 minutes to consult and sketch.
right.
So let's talk about the teams a little. I kind of felt bad personally for Kuan because he got teamed up with Gunner. And I love Kuan, Team
Yeah.
Kuan. And I just think Gunner is a bit, I don't want to see the B word.
But just say it. He's bitchy.
He's
Yeah,
bitchy.
he is.
But you know what?
He's a diva.
Kuan, I know your team Kuan, and he's super cute and very and he's very timid, but he basically said that he couldn't have done it without Gunner's
Right.
guidance. So maybe he got lucky.
I think they did make a good team, actually. But I thought the same thing.
This was my initial thought during the challenge. But how about you guys? Lauren, who'd you think was an odd couple?
Christopher and Andrea. Even though I thought that they were an odd couple. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, folks, they were teamed. Each designer was teamed with another designer, and then they had to design for a past Project Runway contestant.
Correct.
Okay, so when Christopher and Andrea were paired together, I was shocked that Christopher was excited to be paired with Andrea. He's like, I really like her aesthetic and I think we're going to be great together. And I'm thinking, all I can think about is the candy dot dress she made. I'm like, what is he talking about? And then it ended up being a big problem. But I was surprised that he was excited about it. And I thought initially it was a very odd pairing.
Yeah. I think he said that he was excited to learn from her because she's more of a seasoned designer. You know, she teaches design. He said that she's designed for some celebrities, which I'm really curious to know who
Yeah.
and why.
Yeah.
And what the age group is of those celebrities.
And when that was,
And
what decade that was in.
really?
That was me.
But supposedly
But
she did.
we all agreed that we really liked Christopher's attitude. He was so positive about it and respectful, and
In the
like
beginning.
in the beginning,
Right.
like you mentioned. But he kept it composed for
I
For
think
a
he
little
could have
while.
spoken up a little bit just to save himself.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
he ended up at, well, we'll talk about that later where it ended him up, but he could have spoken up.
But he had a great attitude.
He did.
If you're gonna have a partner, that's the way to go, right?
I agree.
Right.
But yeah, that was an odd pairing for me.
All right,
Yeah.
Lo, how about you? Who were you shocked to see together?
Oh gosh, Buffy and Elena. I don't know. They're right off the bat. I didn't think they would work very well together. I just kind of questioned how that would work out. So I know we'll get into that later, but yeah, that was kind of more of a surprise to me, or just I was a little worried for them.
They are so different.
So different.
Yeah.
Elena is like muted colors all the time, very structured, and then there's
Right.
Buffy,
With
Yeah.
the,
which is like
That's true.
right. And their attitudes are very different too. Like I feel like
Oh my-
Elena is very concentrated and serious and super intense, and
Yeah.
Buffy's like, it's fine, whatever. We're just gonna sew the dress
Right.
together.
If you think about
Like,
it, it's like their style.
Totally.
Like Elena's very
Polar.
strict and,
Well, she mentioned she's from the Ukraine, and if you don't,
Right.
like fight
Hustle.
to eat, then you won't eat, and like that definitely came out. But Buffy does not. Buffy is so like
Laid back,
like
a little
out
bit
to
more.
lunch all the time. In fact, she even said, "I just really want 5 minutes to eat right
My
now."
dinner.
But yeah, that was an odd pairing for sure.
Yeah.
polar opposites. You
Right.
guys couldn't have put it
Yeah.
better. And let's talk about what you mentioned, Lauren. They had past winners and contestants from Runway come back and be these groups' clients. So they had to make a dress to their liking. And it's pretty hard to please a designer, right? They were worried about
were
that.
worried about that.
especially for the Emmys.
They had to design a
Right.
dress for the Emmys, so the challenge winner gets to be the challenge winner, have immunity, and they get to go to the Emmys with the dress.
Correct.
And the designer that wore the dress. And these designers were allowed to kind of say, they were allowed to have design input. And because they're designers, they're going to have a very strong input. So they were in the workroom with them going like, I think that neckline should be structured differently, different than, a model that would
Right.
just come in and wear the dress.
Well,
Right.
most people, like if I went in, I wouldn't really even know how to explain. I'd say, well, I want to fit
Right.
it down with the waist that, whereas a designer is going to go in there and be like, I need the seam this way. I
Oh,
need
they were
Right.
very
The length has
specific.
to
Into
be-
the fabric,
And
all the details.
The current designers designing for the older designers that were on the show previously felt the pressure of that. They all commented like, how do you please a designer?
Right. I think Gunnar was the one that said the hardest person to please in fashion is a designer.
And they had the hardest designer to please as well.
Oh, yes.
Gunnar had
Irina.
She was a peach, and that's by peach I mean not a peach.
Not at all.
a sour peach.
Yeah.
She was
feisty.
She was-
We all noticed how she was really rude and short. And, we understand you want a nice gown, especially if you're going to potentially wear it to the Emmys, but
She
Yeah.
could have taken it down a notch if you ask me, but
manners.
anyway, yeah.
So who were your favorites, Lo, that came back from the past seasons?
Ooh, Anya's my favorite. She is my favorite. So I was excited to see her back. Mila, I was excited to see her back because I remember her styling and really kind of liking her style. And I
Okay.
think even when I saw her and she was wearing that black like suit jacket or kind of like a tuxedo jacket or something, I thought she looked really cute. So I was excited to see the two of them.
All right, Lauren, how about you?
I like Laura. I know that sounds kind of boring because but I just like her classic style. And so I was excited to see Laura. She caught my eye when I saw her. I was like, oh, yay. I wasn't expecting to see her. And I like, she made it far in her season. And I was excited to see her.
I like Kenley. She's just so
Yeah.
bubbly, and she's definitely got her very particular style. So I thought, it would be fun to see her.
But she was so sweet too. Like she's so sweet and
Isn't it refreshing?
yeah. She was really willing to work with the designer. She was positive.
Very encouraging, not like some other
right.
of them. She wasn't trying to she wasn't
Yeah.
trying to stifle at all. She was part of the creative process in a positive way. Yeah.
Good way to put it.
Yeah.
So we got the challenge down. Lexus team challenge. They're paired up, making a dress for the Emmys for a past contestant. Let's move on to the workroom where the real drama started. So we see tension right away with a couple of teams.
Yes.
Yeah.
as I mentioned, Gunnar was complaining to begin with against Kuan,
yes.
his teammate, and he was worried about him. You know, I get that. Even though I love my little Kuan, he's very unique. He has a really, really different style than anybody there, and I mean, it's the language and cultural barrier too. You got, you know, he's always zenned out and.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think, you know, Kuan said also that they have very different styles, so he kind of had to let Gunnar lead the way. He kind of had to follow his lead in this challenge.
Which I think when you're dealing with a lot of teams, there's always going to be like a leader and a follower, and it seems maybe like it could be a little risky to let someone else lead, but I don't know necessarily, because you have to find your position in the group, and if two people are trying to lead, it's just going to be a mess. So somebody does kind of have to step down, and even though he did sort of relinquish a little bit of control, I think it was good that he said, this is my role and I'm going to be it.
Yeah.
Right. You know?
Well, that's why it worked.
I think so.
Right.
It wouldn't have otherwise,
think
because
so.
if they would have tried to both really design the gown, I mean, those two style
No. It
would've been a
designers,
mess.
I mean, it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
Some more tension that we saw, girls, in the workroom,
Elena and Buffy.
like you mentioned.
Yes, just because they did have the very opposite attitudes. It didn't even seem that it was so much their style that was clashing in this. It was just how they work. And Elena is such a perfectionist, and she's so intense. I mean, she would be difficult to work with. She's obviously someone who doesn't like to give anyone else the control. She needs it all herself. And she was getting really frustrated with Buffy just because she was taking so much time.
Well, Elena gave Buffy the time-consuming job that didn't really allow her to put creative input into the structure and design of the dress, really. So she basically was like, you iron in all the pleats, and Buffy was like, this is taking me forever. And she was actually being very nice about it. And Elena just come on, well, just keep ironing. It was like a drill sergeant.
Right.
And Buffy was sort of like, I wish I could be more involved in the dress. And then, you know, Elena got frustrated and cried and left, like always.
She's so high-strung and really, really anal. I mean, the dress is going to get done, and you kind of have to give your partner some kind of creative, you know, ability, because
it needs to be a partnership.
otherwise she's just your assistant, and that's kind of what happened.
And I think that's how she felt. And I think Elena folds under pressure. We've seen it 3 weeks in a row, right? I mean,
She cracks. Yeah.
she needs to get it together.
Yeah, definitely.
Who I noticed, Ven and Fabio, it wasn't too bad, but Ven took over and he was criticizing Fabio's work.
I know he has a big ego, but honestly, it's kind of the truth.
It is the truth. It is the truth. But he could not get paired well regardless, because no matter who he gets paired with, they don't work up to his standards.
But his standards are really high.
That's why. No one would have necessarily, who would he have actually been a fan to work with?
Nobody.
No one has his skill.
Right.
No one has his skill.
Yeah.
So
Michael
you're
Kors
right.
himself could have come in and been his partner, and he would have criticized.
his
work. That's probably true. I believe it.
No,
He'd point something out.
I am Team Ven for sure, but I don't disagree with what you're saying. He is very hard to please.
He knows how good he is.
And finally, I noticed, and I'm sure you ladies did too, and the fans, Chris and Andrea. Chris, he's all about his work. He's really fast, talented. And Andrea, obviously, he was really respectful towards her. And, you know, she has, I guess, merit, and she's been around for a long time. But she's taking her time, laughing it off, really
taking 12 hours to cut the fabric.
It's like one thing to be like Elena and take it so seriously and make it a big deal. And then there's Andrea, who's a little too happy-go-lucky, right?
Yeah. I mean, even there was one point where she was sewing the skirt part of the dress, and she did something. I don't know exactly what it was because it didn't explain, but it looked like the fabric was bunching and ripping.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, no, look what I did. Ha ha. And Christopher, you could just see him just
dying
fuming.
inside.
I think he rolled his
Fuming.
eyes like, oh my gosh. And he was so upset.
This is where I think he could have been a little bit more vocal. I know that he respected her. She's older and she was more seasoned, and he was trying to not jump over that line of respect. But I think he could have, for his own sake, said, hey, look, it's a mistake, but we need to really concentrate now.
Right.
Like, we need to come back from this mistake. He could have stepped in a little bit, I think.
I agree. There's respectful ways to communicate.
Yes.
And you got, it's a challenge. You want to win. So do your best.
Yeah.
And help your partner help you.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
and that's part of helping them is telling them to hurry up a little bit or pick up the pace. It's how you say it.
Exactly.
And he struggled with finding a respectful way to address her because he was concerned about her age.
And I think he wants it more than she does. She's a lot more
Lackadaisical.
Yeah, she doesn't care as much. She even mentioned if she got voted off, she'd be relieved.
It would be a relief, is what she
But
said.
he's just like so gung ho. He wants it. He
cried.
He cried. So we saw a match made in heaven go to hell. All right, let's move on. But before we do, let's talk about Amazon.
Let's talk about
Amazon.
Yeah. Well, guys, we love when you come to the AFTERBUZZTV.com website and check us all out. And we also know that a lot of you do your shopping on Amazon. I mean, you probably watch the show and think, I want to get that. I want to buy that. That look inspired me. You shop on Amazon. Who does not shop on Amazon? So it's good for us here if you just click on the AFTERBUZZTV.com site first and click after that on the Amazon banner. It takes you right to the site. It's no extra effort for you at all. You just click on the banner. We get a little kickback. We appreciate you coming through our site first. No extra effort at all whatsoever. So we just ask that you click on the Amazon banner through AFTERBUZZ TV and then do all your shopping.
I took your advice last week about going on there to get makeup. I don't know. I didn't get the mascara, but I shopped some other products and I was like, ooh, this
And
is
they
so
have
fun.
everything,
That's
guys.
true.
You guys, we just appreciate any support.
Yeah.
We're here, we're volunteering, working hard. We're fans just like you guys, so we really want to keep this going. Your little support going to Amazon, you're going to shop anyways.
Yeah.
And you're listening to us anyways,
And
right?
you're watching
Right.
Project
So
Runway. Do you not want to shop after watching this?
I know.
Hello.
That's so true.
Very true. Speaking of Project Runway, let's get back to the runway. Our guest judge was Kristen Ritter. She's a TV star. She's
She's on Don't Trust the Bee
on ABC.
on
In Apartment 23.
23. And it's on ABC, and it's a funny sitcom.
She was also on Breaking Bad.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Love her.
She's
She's funny.
awesome.
She's a fun
She is
character
funny.
actress.
And she has cute style.
Yeah.
She has very retro style.
Specific.
Right.
And I would call her a bit of a fashionista, so it's
Yeah.
nice to see
Yeah,
a
she
young...
has a very distinct style of her own.
She had a point of view.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right. So our runway was shorter this week because we had the pairs, so it was cut in half. And whose look stood out to you guys personally?
Well, I am surprised that the Melissa and Dimitri's dress did not get into the top. It was a high neck silver. They used the silk charmeuse fabric, which is really, really hard to work with. They said they didn't find the fabric at Moo that they wanted. So they were stuck with this, which is also fabric that's really hard to wear. I mean,
Yes.
that's like clingy fabric. If you're not like svelte, it's not going to fall right on your body.
Yeah.
So they were lucky that their designer that they were designing for, which was, who did
Let's-
they design for?
I will tell you right now, April.
April. She looked fabulous in it. But this high neck silk, it looked like gunmetal, like silk on her body. It
Yeah.
was so pretty, and the draping was pretty, and it flowed. I am surprised it didn't make it into the top.
I
Right.
have to agree with that. I thought
I
it
do
was
too.
one of the best dresses
Yeah.
out there because it looked high fashion.
Yes.
It was really well done. It really flattered the model
Had
or the
low,
client.
the low back.
And it
I
was
love the back.
different.
And Heidi would
Yeah.
have looked sick in that dress.
Yeah.
Oh man, Heidi.
She could have worn the crap out of that puppy.
Yeah, serious. I agree with you though on that.
Yeah.
That was one of the things I noticed was not everybody could wear that dress.
No.
Like only that client could wear that dress. If you have hips, if you
I
have
could
any
not
kind
wear
of
that
curves
dress.
or cheese going on, you cannot wear that dress. It's just not going to happen.
No, it wasn't
She
the everyday
looked
girl.
really
good.
like that.
She looked really good.
Yeah.
She did. I liked
So.
it with her purple hair too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lo, your fave.
You know what? I loved Sanji and Nathan. The gold dress that they did, it was so simple, but I just loved it. And it even had that silk V detail that kind of went, I think, from right here and it went down into the back.
And it had the little cap sleeve.
Yeah.
It was very red carpet.
It looked comfortable. It looked glamorous.
And
it fit their client
the
super
low
well. Yeah, it was
pretty.
loved it.
I liked
was
it too.
a gold sequence dress. And I liked it too. I've seen it though.
Yeah, I guess it wasn't like.
I've seen it everywhere. And I think it's kind of predictable and I'm getting over sequence. But I have to agree.
Yeah.
It was well made. It looked good.
It was right for the occasion.
And
They were
It's
just-
timeless,
for the-
though.
and
aside,
it is
aside
timeless.
from it being, not different, it's something that will always pretty much be in style.
Yeah.
So I kind of love that. I would buy it.
They made it current. I would too, and I
Yeah.
think it's easy to wear. They made it current with that little cap sleeve, that structured kind of cap sleeve too. I liked that. That made the dress for me almost.
No, I didn't think it was bad. I just didn't think it
didn't
stood
wow
out.
you.
I agree.
Yes.
Right.
That's probably why it ended up in the middle somewhere.
Right.
Okay. And who did I like? I also liked Melissa and Dimitri, but I liked Ven as well. Mm-hmm. Just because when the dress walked out, or the client, it looked like Oscar de la Renta to me. I was like, wow, that's a really well-made dress. But we keep seeing that from Ven, so
Yeah.
I
I
think
shouldn't be
anything
shocked.
that he does will look well made and it will look expensive. It's something we're going to hear the judges say every time his pieces come out.
I agree.
So
I agree.
He has really exquisite taste, and then on top of it, he can execute a dress like no other.
And I like how
Or clothing.
he really cultivated that dress for his client, for
Kinley.
Kenley. She's very 50s retro, and he really went for it with that. And it was kind of risky to do a shorter dress. We don't see that a lot. I mean, maybe more so at the Emmys, like the Reese
Right.
Witherspoon yellow dress with the red shoe she did. That was
Yeah.
iconic look now. But I feel like, he kind of went that route, that vintage 50s, and it was
Yeah.
perfect for her. And she was thrilled beyond belief. That's
Right.
exactly what she wanted.
Yeah.
it was very her style.
My
Yeah.
only critique is, like the judges said, it didn't stand out. It's not something I'd
Right.
remember.
Yeah. Heidi said she wouldn't wear it.
No, but Heidi's all about sexy.
Yeah, that's
and
not a
also
Heidi
in
dress.
drama.
Yeah.
Like, do you
Yeah.
remember the red, the
Yes.
huge red dress?
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't love Heidi's style on the red carpet.
I
do.
do.
I do.
know.
I do.
Yeah, but I
don't
agree.
know.
I think his dress was not memorable, and that's
Yeah.
exactly what I thought when I saw it come down. I was like, okay, so it's nice, it's expensive, or it looks expensive. It looks really well made, but I don't love it.
Yeah.
And I think maybe they could have done something with it. I don't know. I don't want to
To
give
glam
my
it up.
fashion 2 cents, but put a little some kind of little belt or something that could
Something, yeah.
add
Embellish it.
something.
Yeah, a little glam.
Something.
Yeah, I
maybe
agree.
an earring. Maybe of how they styled her differently, like a dressy earring.
Yeah.
something that could have dressed it up because she was not memorable. I'm not going to see her in a magazine one day.
She's not going to get
best
the
dressed.
best dressed on the red carpet. No way. Yeah.
But at the same time, you have to realize she's just an old contestant or past contestant from Project Runway. She's not up for an award.
Yeah.
She's
Right.
probably not even presenting. She's
just
it'd be
there.
kind of ridiculous if she walked into the Emmys with a huge gown
Yeah.
and she's trumping,
Yeah.
Sofia Vergara.
Yeah.
But it would be great promotion for the show if she
Absolutely.
did. They're like, "Who's that?
and they're
What's
four
she wearing?"
And they're 4 Emmy nominations.
That's right.
True. Okay.
Yeah.
You guys have a point.
Can I ask you guys though, what did you think of Kuan and Gunnar? I'm so curious of their white dress.
As soon as I saw it, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No.
As soon as I saw it, I thought, "Here comes the bride." It
Okay.
looked exactly like a wedding dress. That's
I mean, white to me is a wedding dress, but they do use white a lot on the red carpet because it pops. And I think that white, they lucked out because they got the white Lexus before they saw who they were designing for. So they also happened to get a woman that had beautiful skin tone for a white dress.
Yeah.
But to me, it didn't scream "Here Comes the Bride" just because of the structure, how fitted it was, and it was high necked and
Right.
all of that. But the problem with it for me was that the necklace was the best part.
Yeah.
right.
See, I feel like I kind of disagree. When I saw that dress come down the runway, I felt like it looked so good compared to so many of the other ones that had just come before.
Yeah.
I thought it really stood out, and I really liked it, actually.
Heidi liked it too. There was one other problem I have to jump in. The hem was like
I noticed
this
that.
short off of the floor. That bothers me. I want the hem to be like just skimming the floor. I don't want it to puddle, and I don't want it to be too high. It needs to just skim so that your toe pops out as you step down the carpet and you just get a peek of the shoe. That's my opinion.
Maybe
the
it
hem
was a
bothered
mistake.
me.
Do you think it was a mistake?
Might have been.
I think it would be.
I wasn't that impressed with that dress.
Not
And
even for your boy? Wasn't that cool?
Oh, Kuan, yeah.
I know. But
But
it wasn't his
style.
design.
It wasn't
Yeah.
his design.
Kuan would have had something crazy.
He would have had
Yeah.
some cray.
Wouldn't have been white.
No.
Oh, didn't he want like sheer down the
Oh,
side?
he wanted it to be, he tried to
had
pipe
some
in there. They're like,
crazy
no.
ideas, and they shut him down
Of course,
fast.
Irina shut him down real fast.
Wow.
Right.
Nobody could get past her.
Jeez. She had a scowl coming down the runway. Did you guys notice that? I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Put on a smile, girl.
Yeah, come on.
All right, let's get to the bottom two.
Yes.
All right. The bottom two were Raul and Alicia.
Yes.
They made a boring black dress.
That was horrible.
And Chris and Andrea. Chris.
Yeah, he was upset about that.
What'd you guys think? Do you think the bottom two deserve to be on the bottom?
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to say that Christopher and Andrea, well, I think they had problems with their design, but I think that the black dress with the belt was just horrible fitted. It looked like you could have got it at like Contempo Casuals in the like 1990s.
I was going to say that store is not even around anymore. It's
Exactly
around.
my point.
Yeah.
And it was boring, but very boring. Like I could have designed a better dress than that, and I'm not a designer at all.
I agree. It was boring, and it was so unflattering. Anya has a really nice little body.
Yeah.
And she looked frumpy and wide up top. I'm
Yeah,
like,
right.
how do you make a skinny girl look heavy?
And then they styled her bad with that weird ponytail,
Yeah.
right?
No, I think didn't she have? I thought she just had her hair normal.
Oh wait,
You're not.
it's
You're
'cause
thinking
it's
of Mila.
shaved.
Oh.
You're thinking Mila in the black with the
yeah,
red.
the
Wait,
brown dress.
Yes, I am so sorry, everybody. I am confused.
That's why I was
That's
like,
okay.
it's not black, it's brown.
brown. Okay,
Alicia,
no.
you're talking about Alicia and Raul.
Sorry, I was
okay.
confused. But to comment on the brown dress, yeah, the slit I kind of liked.
The slit was cute.
I did
But
too.
then, yeah, sorry about that. The brown,
okay.
no, I didn't like it. It wasn't good. And yeah, it did
Right.
make her look frumpy, and she's super cute.
Yes.
Yeah.
She could have worn that silver dress. No
Thank you.
cheese.
Totally.
She's skinny.
All right, what do you think, Lo?
About the bottom two,
Yes.
I thought Alicia and Raul were so horrible. I thought it was the worst look that came down the runway, and I couldn't agree more with what Heidi and what even Mila said herself. Is she wished they would have done something more fitted. They're both menswear designers. They got lucky to be paired together. They should have taken advantage of that, and they really didn't. They really missed the mark, and it was so boring and horrible. And it wasn't even Mila's style. Didn't even look, bad.
Yeah.
And like you said, again, boring. And
Right.
the neckline was really unflattering as
It
well.
was like halter kind of on
Weird.
her.
Halter-ish.
Yeah, weird.
I don't know.
It was all wrong.
And
yeah.
it looked cheap.
That was a big problem for me. It looked just so cheaply made. That's why I said it looks like you could get it from Contempo, right?
Right.
Yeah. All right, let's go on to the top two. We had Ven and Fabio, shocker.
Yeah.
And Gunnar and Kuan.
I was
Yes.
surprised that Gunnar and Kuan got into the top two, but Heidi really loved that dress.
I think Heidi got them to be in the top two because she wants that dress.
I agreed. And it's funny, too, because a lot of the other designers were like, why are they in the top two? Nobody else agreed. I totally agreed. Me and Heidi must have the same style.
The whole look came together really well. I mean, maybe the
Right.
dress wasn't like the hem was a little weird, and I think the
Right.
necklace really made it. And the judges weren't even sure if the necklace was part of the dress or not until they're like, "Oh, thanks, Lord and Taylor, for the necklace."
Right, yeah.
But it really made the dress. I mean, as much as Irina is not the nicest, most pleasant person, she's really pretty. She wore the dress really well. They styled her like really well. So I think the whole look kind of. They got
Sold
lucky
them.
with it coming all together so nicely.
Yes.
And it looked very Emmy red carpet.
Yes.
I wish that they weren't on the top two. I hate to wish that on my little Kuan. But Melissa and Dimitri,
I think they should have been.
I mean, that was different. It was new. It was something we haven't seen, and it was executed to perfection.
I agree.
And it was more challenging. What were they thinking? I thought that that they would have loved that
I mean,
dress.
I am Team Ven all the way, but I think that Dimitri and Melissa should have been.
Over Gunnar and Kuan.
Yeah,
getting-
and even Ven, and I mean, I know they were the winners and they
Yes.
were in the top, but I'm saying even still, I think they were up there. I think they were like a direct competitor with them,
Okay.
structure wise and everything.
I agree. I didn't think Ven and Fabio should have been at the very top, but I liked what you said. I agree with Kuan and Gunnar. Their styling was so spot on. The like fuchsia red lip and then the really pretty hair.
And
it was just all
back
really
and
great.
simple. Yeah, it came
She
together
looked really
well.
great.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the winner and the loser. Let's start with the loser. So we saw Raul go home, guys. What do you
Yeah.
think?
He did not really stand out for me as someone that I was like rooting for or rooting against. He sort of just blended in for me. So I'm like, oh, he left. And he was
Yeah.
kind of the same way. He's like, I mean, he appreciated the acknowledgement to be there and the opportunity like they all do. But he was like, okay, I'm going, bye. I was like, okay, see you later. And moving on. That's kind of how I felt.
Yeah.
Flo?
I mean, I don't think we're missing out too much in him being gone, but I would have liked to have seen Andrea leave. Like, I think we could have seen more from Raul with his menswear. Like, he could come out with some really classy suits. I just think there was a lot more to be seen
From
from
him.
him
as
than
opposed to
Andrea.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
So
agree.
I disagreed with that selection.
Yeah.
And the winner for the second week in a row. I can't speak tonight. Sorry, guys. Ven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Shocker.
I'm just saying I might be onto something.
You might.
Yes, you and the judges, apparently, because this is his second week.
Yeah.
I don't think he should have been the winner. I don't think it's going to be the last time he wins either.
Yeah.
He's
No.
going to be winning a lot. I don't know. I don't know. I want to see him mess up a little bit.
You never know,
hope.
though. They could throw a really weird challenge. Like they said, it's a week-to-week
Yeah.
thing. I mean, he could get caught up in something.
Right.
But I think at that point, it'll come down to them just saying, he'll fall in the middle somewhere, or maybe he'll get to the bottom too, but he won't get eliminated just because you can't ignore his
Yeah.
past work. I mean, I know it's a
Yeah.
week-to-week challenge, but I just feel like he's going to make it all the way.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that might hurt him is if he continues to design in that same
Yeah.
style.
Same look.
That's
Same look.
structured.
He needs to challenge
Because
himself a little more.
Yeah, in past seasons you hear
Yeah.
judges like, "Oh, we need to see something different from you." So that's the only thing that might cause
And
a
so
little
far,
trouble.
I feel like he's done. Oh no, he did the pants the first thing, but he
Right.
likes flowy dresses.
And
so.
drape.
They're
Yeah.
really, they have a very structured element to them,
Right.
though. Everything we've seen has some piece of structure, some kind of lines.
But that's what
in
but
it.
That's what. Yeah.
That's what makes it look
Right.
so,
So
like
good.
couture
Right.
and fantastically
Yeah.
structured and put together. So
Because he does it well.
He does.
Yeah,
He
he does
does.
it perfectly.
he
Yeah.
knows his strength and he does it. And it's just like the two menswear
Yeah.
designers should have like gone with their strength. So I think he's on to
So
something.
Ven's your favorite, right?
No, I don't like him at all.
No? Do you guys know who is the Project Runway favorite I have on my iTunes app?
Oh,
Does anyone know?
is it Melissa?
It is Melissa. Did I already tell you that? I think I
cheated
did.
and looked at your phone,
Oh,
but
sorry.
I do that. I can't. I have wandering eyes.
So you guys, I have this really cool Project Runway app, and I've been following it. And every day you can kind of tune in, and you could see it on the website as well. Who the favorites are? Melissa's in the lead.
It's
Not
the silver
Kuan?
dress. It's the silver dress.
The silver dress. I loved her very first dress, the black. So right now
Oh,
she's
yeah.
in the lead. You know, last week it was
Everything's
Sanji.
consistent.
Right.
Really?
Yeah, last week it was Sanji. So I've been following. So if you guys go to iTunes, you could follow as well. And while you're there, you're going to download our podcast and you're going to comment because we really want to hear from you. I want to know what you think. I want to know who you think could be the possible winner, if you agree with us, if you disagree with us. So get on there and comment because I really want
We
to hear
love
from you guys.
hearing what you have to
Yeah,
say.
you guys, and rate us. We want to know if we're doing well. What can we improve? Tell a friend. It takes a
Yeah.
minute. We don't ask for much.
We do this
No.
for you guys, and we want to hear what you think.
Yes.
Yes. Give us your feedback. Thanks, guys.
right. Yeah.
And let's go to commercial.
All right. Nice.
Good buddies, the handle's Woolly Bear. I'm a truck driving man, but I'm not that old school kind of truck driving man, no. I like to listen to podcasts while I'm driving through these great United States of ours. And my favorite podcasts in the world are from AFTERBUZZ TV. And why? Because AfterBuzz TV's like a post-game wrap-up show for all your favorite TV shows, like Jersey Shore, Dancing with the Stars, Mad Men, and a whole truckload more. I like listening to my Gossip Girl podcast, catching up with all my fellow fans and getting all the latest news and gossip. No, I got some strong opinions. And AfterBuzz TV lets me share those opinions with thousands of other listeners. Woo-wee, what a feeling. I used to doze off on those lonely stretches of road. And don't worry, I got the cruise control. But now I'm wide awake and listening to all the AfterBuzz TV goodness. Check them out. Give them a holler. And tell them the old Woolly Bear sent you. AfterBuzz TV News.
All right, you guys, we have a lot of Project Runway news this week, right?
Yeah. We do.
Lauren, tell us about it.
First up, we are going to just highlight that Nina Garcia has just been announced as JCPenney's resident style voice and fashion collection curator. That's a rolls right off the tongue, doesn't it?
Right.
Basically, what she's doing is she's working really closely with JCPenney's merchandising and design team, and she's going to help highlight different trends with the company's exclusive collections. And basically how this can work for the customers is they're going to show in stores through like little digital either videos or
They're also some kind of social media.
Yeah, and they're going to come through the social media. So it's kind of interactive,
Right.
and she's going to be very accessible to the customer to kind of help you design where you want to go and talk about the trends that are upcoming.
JCPenney
I'm
customers are going to
excited.
get a lot more stylish now.
I know, right?
I might be going to JCPenney's now. I love her.
I know.
I love Nina's style. Did you guys see her dress?
Yeah,
She's always
Tonight,
gorgeous.
And also then we have some really exciting news for Christian Siriano. He's a season 4 winner, and
There
he
he
has
is.
his own store opening up on Elizabeth Street in Soho, my favorite place,
Yes.
in Manhattan in New York City. This is the store is officially opening on September 5th, but they had a soft opening in July. And basically, Christian, I have a quote here, says he's always wanted to open a space where his customers can shop exclusive pieces curated by him and his team, and that the store is a great showcase for the collection for each season, and he's hoping that it will be the first of many Christian Siriano retail locations. How awesome is that? I want to go. I want one in LA.
You know what's cool is that you can buy his clothes at Neiman Marcus and other stores across the U.S., but he's going to have bags, accessories, and even home decor. Exclusive only in this store.
I like his stuff. I would shop.
This is big for
That's
a Project
huge.
Runway
Own their own
winner.
store.
Wow.
Right.
I know, that's
Yeah.
great.
And especially in Soho.
Yeah,
I
he's
know.
the
So,
most
I mean,
successful.
yeah, he is the most successful, and he's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yes.
And he's only 26.
Wow.
Yeah. And then our last little bit of news is Michael Kors. There was an article in Harper's Bazaar, and it was called My List, Michael Kors in 24 Hours. And they basically just go through like his day. Like he talks about when he wakes up and then what he does for breakfast. And then it gives like a little timeline. And a little highlight was he has 12 Splendas a day. He has 50 black t-shirts, like his uniform, and 60 aviators.
Yep.
And I kind of like, and also it just goes through his style. And I kind of like that Michael Kors is kind of, I feel like I'm similar in the way that I don't like wear like super crazy colors. I like to stick to, I mean, I've got this bright collar on tonight, but I normally stick to like basic colors. And he
Right.
does that. And then he only just kind of accessorizes with something different, like a different sunglasses or a different shoe.
Right.
And I like that about him.
He definitely has a signature look. I mean,
That's
Michael
it.
Yeah,
for
he's
you.
very
That is
simple.
it. Yes.
You
Yeah.
guys have to check out this list because when you read it, you feel like you're living a part of
You
his
feel
life.
like you're like going along the day with him. So
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
check out the article in Harper's Bazaar. It's very good.
Yes, yes. Also in Harper's Bazaar, we want to show you our fashion spread of the week. So this is Rihanna. She's on the cover. And this is actually the new season fashion preview.
Yeah.
So that's what this cover is. She's also on the monthly Harper's Bazaar, I think, for August. But how gorgeous is that? That's all Tom Ford. We have more pictures.
By the way,
Rihanna
if you
loves
can't
her
see
Tom
this,
Ford.
if you guys are listening on iTunes, go to facebook.com/AfterBuzzTV, and we'll have the photos there.
She's wearing
Yeah.
a gold
Thanks,
dress
Phil.
that kind of reminds
Right.
us of the gold dress that went down the runway this
See,
episode.
timeless.
Yeah.
Oh, and there she is, really simple. I kind of love Rihanna like
Calvin
this the
Klein
best.
collection.
When she's really like simple, not as much makeup.
She's beautiful, so she
yeah.
can pull that off. And Calvin Klein is very simple
Yeah.
and classic, and she wears it well.
She said she felt really pretty in this dress and she loved it. This was her favorite look.
Yeah. I love this one. You can't see the shoes, but they're just gorgeous, simple, pointy
I don't
Manolo
remember what
Blahnik
this-
shoes.
Was this Givenchy? I don't know.
Possibly. I don't
It's
think so. I
very-
feel like it was a name I wasn't
Very
familiar with.
structured. I love the
Yes.
turtleneck. It's white with sequins. It's
Right.
gorgeous, short, fits her
Very
very well.
ornate.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Fits her well, and and
Yeah.
I like her hair too. It's just down and a little pulled off her face. She looks
Right.
gorgeous again.
And then I love this picture. I just love the picture. I don't even care about what she's wearing. I just think it's such a gorgeous fashion photo.
Very
picture.
high
I absolutely
fashion.
love it. Yes,
Rihanna's got style.
She does have
and she's not
style.
afraid to take risks.
she does.
She
Yeah.
she does it well.
I think that's our last photo.
Yes, I like
Possibly.
it. She looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, let's move on to predictions. We have a lot of upcoming drama, so we have some
Yeah.
fun predictions to talk about.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
Well, we talked about this last week with somebody. The two
Yes.
designers get up in the middle of the night and leave. Now they kind of alluded to this in the upcoming little teaser that they gave for the next week's show. And Andrea, which I believe some of us predicted, I think I did last week, and I think we all did,
Right.
that she gets up and goes, and she does. Now I don't know if she comes back or not, but what was interesting in this is that they basically said they alluded to the fact that somebody else was leaving. I don't know why, and they didn't really say why. I know that Christopher said, "Oh, I feel so bad," and so I don't know if they thought, "Well, now we need to reevaluate who is going home," or why they were picking another
Yeah.
designer to leave. But who do you guys think that's going to be? Because I don't know if Andrea comes back. I don't know what goes on, but it sounds like they were talking about another designer going, and this seemed like it was before the challenge happened.
Yeah.
So if that's true, which they alluded to,
Right.
who do you guys think is going to go?
That's a really tough call. I'm shocked that they'd make somebody else even leave.
Well, it seems like someone was volunteering to go.
I think
Yes.
people were just giving up. Like they made a comment in the tease for next episode, like people are dropping like flies.
Yes.
And it just looked like people were giving up. I don't know that it's the judges necessarily making someone leave or someone else is like, I'm done.
True.
And all these people are going.
Good point.
I don't know. But
If you had to pick,
My
would be?
prediction is that nobody else is going to leave this week. I think
Right.
somebody else is going to leave at night later on.
Okay.
But I think
Right.
Andrea's gone. I don't think she'll
you
come
don't
back.
think she'll come
Okay.
back?
Okay.
No.
All right.
That's my
I-
prediction.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think she'll come back. And I think I'm going to guess why Christopher was saying he feels bad. He probably feels bad because of
His
the things he said
criticism.
on the runway and how she was embarrassed by it. And he probably feels bad for
Responsible.
pointing her out. Yeah,
I
and that's
think-
why she gave up.
Exactly. I think that but you know what though? Honestly, he was valid in those convictions. So
And he was
Yeah.
actually sugarcoating.
he was.
she did.
And she said that she would be relieved if she was gone, and he did not say that. He said, I mean, he kind of sugarcoated how she said that. But I think if somebody does go out of a volunteer, they made it look like it was going to be Kuan. Sorry, Lena.
I can't even utter those words.
Oh,
But
no. I don't think so.
I mean, I don't think he is, but they made it look like that. So I'm just going to predict for the sake of it that
Right.
Kuan volunteers himself to go. Now, whether or not he does or doesn't,
No. That's why they made it look that way. So you would believe
got
it.
tricked.
You're tricked.
fell into
These
this.
Like probably the
teasers are
rest of
good,
everyone.
Project Runway.
it's
I
making me really
know.
want to see next week, and I'm sure
know,
you all do
right?
too.
I know.
So tune in because we will have the recap. You guys, we appreciate you listening and keep
Watching.
Keep watching, subscribe.
rate us, comment. We need to hear what you think.
Yes.
Thanks, guys.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.